with an open heart comes an open mind, and you being able to be yourself, at least here with the lovely 5D Mystic in that spiritual self-help, mindful living way. And we have some cards that spoke to me to bring to you. So when you're mindfully living, you get to have that beginner's mind because you're in that prefrontal cortex as you wander the realms of thought and emotion with the inner growth mindset, and your body openly present as you alchemize that which comes up because you can contain it. Mindful living is all about true spirituality, and so like the 9 of batons or wands, but not as tired because you know how to navigate the day-to-day unknowns, uncertainties, unexpecteds with your lovely social engagement system. So the prefrontal cortex being engaged allows you to be putting into practice temperance and actively knowing how to nurture your emotional, mental, and physical day-to-day experiences without having to fall for any maladaptive and or adaptive child pattern behaviors and behaviors that involve, for example, the shame cycle stuff, inner critic, outer critic, or the drugs, alcohol, fucking stuff, any of that, which is actively going to be this devil card, but not because of the devil in the way of the 3D plane, because of it being attachments that are toxic, so not healthy for you. So we, again, at 5D plane, we remember who we are. We're all brothers and sisters, and the open-hearted ones do. So we don't shame each other for being ourselves. We get to be ourselves with integrity. And then we get to make decisions with a mind that talks to each other like functional adults do, and that's partners, and that's friends, and that's all polyamory, monoamory, any religion, any politician, any of that. We don't get into fights. We're all miracles because we know how to respect and to believe in humanity overall, and also that differences are not going to divide us. That's why emotionally and mentally mature are those intelligence. So people who know the tantric journey isn't any of that yucky that they've basically put in the sympathetic mode is how I'm going to put it, okay? And true authority is not shaming, no. Actively, it is powerful, directed, realized, receptive, wise, and loving. So the realization of this is very easy and straightforward for those who are mindfully living a life that is of true spirituality, solo self, beyond solo self, because I own myself. That's why I can be myself. And the ownership is of this body, and it's an embodied brain. Self-regulation. So the embodied brain is in a restorative embodiment self, aware, accountable, regulating human being. That's when you begin to actively bring forth your true nature as a person, because you've already reparented. You're basically the adult inner child of you. And here's our lovely Merkaba. So realization in Merkaba, I'm going to read it, even though I'm probably pronouncing this wrong. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world, and that is you being yourself. The authentic self is your functional adult, not the distorted lens that comes from trust breaks, childhood trauma, comes from maladaptive, again, behavior due to trauma. Anything that has a distorted lens needs first a therapist, then they love their self first, they know how, and then they know how to be also functional adults. And so that's the inner child adults. We get together here, and we get to, with the mystic, spiritual, woo-woo lady, pseudoscience, bring our sciences, and we don't chase each other down the hallways. We actively get curious and talk more to each other, because it's only the left brainers, the ones who are only with the left, non-bilateral, so they don't have an open heart. You'll notice who they are. I'll share in other episodes, not now. But the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well. I'm an Akashic record reader. It's really fun, more than just fun, to do Akashic record readings when people put into practice what they get shared, and also to just do Akashic record readings as well as tarot and all of it. Reiki, I love anytime I'm integrating the spiritual toolkit in addition to mindfulness and mindset practices that I get to do with the inner growth mindset and Mindsight, thanks Dr. Daniel Siegel. So all of the lovely people that contribute to my education and then contribute to me being better as a content creator and mentor and person in the world with my loved ones. I try. Still have a 3-year-old home with my mom. She gets to get the 3-year-old, but I'm getting there slowly. I've been working on it since I was 16, actively. I'm 44. I think it'll be the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, na 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 na. That's the song. Who was that? Someone. All of my life. Da, 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 da. That's Michael Bublé, I think I'm thinking about. Now that I know that you're gone. All of my life. Anyways, any one of you recognize it. The channeled song was coming through, so that's how it works for channelers. For once in my life, I've got someone who needs me, someone. Yeah, so no, we don't want that type of relationship. FYI, it is very good for you to know the difference between needing what you need, mindful living. All of my mindfulness teachers, therapists, they all inform me, just so you know. You need air to breathe, number one. You need water. Let me take a sip because I got it here and I'm thirsty. To drink, your body's made up of what, 70% water? I don't have food. I need food. That's what we need. Don't make up any other excuses. That's it. Everything else, it's a bonus. Okay, so your 1-year-old, though, the 1-year-old does want one secure attachment figure. So you get to work to make your 1-year-old independent. And that's why those songs are still very beautiful. But FYI, awareness, now that you know, with empowering information, you can make your he, she, they independent emotionally. It's called Give Yourself a Hug and activate your ventral vagal nervous system. And it'll be okay. And that's the beginning of not calling your emotions like this Zen master does laundry. I'm not kidding with you right now, okay? Or doing this, I don't want to do it, Maria. I want life now. Okay, so instead of that, you can do, you know what? This is really boring. I want someone to hug me. And you can say, okay, I'm going to go on some apps, get some good therapists. And so there's always an answer. Don't give me the negative stuff. Albert Einstein, stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. I'm giving you solutions, proactive ones, and accurately they work. If you want them to. That's why it's not self-help bullshit or pseudoscience crap or mindfulness bullshit. When you understand what it means, don't pout 1-year-old and 3-year-old, and I'm not kidding with you. So remember, you need no one. No, it's nice. We are people. We're meant to be with others, just so you know. So that is actively, you don't need to be shaming the 1-year-old. Just say, hey, we have not found the one yet. When we do, we'll know. You know why? They will safe havenly and secure basally hug me when I'm like this, and they won't make me feel ashamed of it. That's what true love is I will be okay with not pouting at you while you're pouting. And I'm not joking. Nobody brings humbug. Like our lovely Sadhguru, his wisdom. He just doesn't know. He's sharing with you what it is to be an integrated brain, functional adult, restored embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating human being. I know because I take all the good courses with the good therapists. Not the ones who want to keep shaming people and staying in very cold bodies that don't have a child inside because they've armored themselves shut in the shame cycle actively. I don't know what they think about at night, but I can better guess. No, I shouldn't. I don't want to. I don't want to be in their brain because my brain is neutral like yours is, and my thoughts and my imagination. I love mine. Even when I get that other stuff, my brain still actively knows how to say, okay, come on over, Jacob. I'm objective. What's going on? Nothing, Maria. Patrick McNamara. It's called Your Brain is Doing the Thing Our Ancestors Did, and you're evolving, and your decentralization is reorganized. It's amazing when you learn things. So Patrick McNamara proves no demon possessing anyone, just so you know. Look him up. He's interviewed by The Well, and there's 3 interviews, or Big Think. They're all good, all of them. Okay, so Akashic Record readings, beautiful. The past lives that I've had, well, they're interesting. Oh, man, some of them. I have shared them with the people that obviously have come through. And in one of them, I actively had to pause myself. I didn't have to. I just did. I was like, you realize what you just saw, right? Like, this was days after. And that I hadn't flinched at all. But that wasn't the first time I saw a bazillion of my lifetimes. And so I was like, yeah, I've seen other stuff from other lifetimes with other people. Those I actively didn't share. That's because some of our masculines, I'm a feminine, they're not into mysticism at all. So we actively understand what it means when somebody thinks that we're woo-woo. And we don't want to. And also it's unnecessary. So anyways, I'm going to leave the details out of it. So it activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our presence to serve our highest purpose. FYI, if you are feminine, and I say divine feminine because we have divine feminine that I'm calling the body, divine masculine the mind, and that's when your brain is obviously integrated in yours, and the masculine is the left, the linear chit chatter, right, wrong, and the ego. We're gonna start using that. The self is the right, and thus is analogical, and it's allowing A, B, C, D, E, F, G all to sit there. So uncertainty and unknowns is fine for the right mode, but that's because you're also good with sensations that come up. You're able to regulate your nervous system. Again, you have a window welcome to emotions. Okay, so FYI for any of you who are channelers, so divine feminine, meaning the people of you who are actively aware of your past lives or something like that. So for me, it was not, like I said, destabilizing at all. I actively looked back, and the event I'm thinking about, it's because it was very important in the sense of what happened. I even got follow-up to what it is and all of it. So it's really beautiful when you know how to make use of that and integrate it into your experience. And the only reason I stopped to think about it is because it's very, I don't want to share. I'm keeping it private, that's what. But I just was like, wow, you just see all of it, and then it's like, keep moving forward. But it's fun. It's fun for me. It's fun and precious to share it with the people. And so I did get that. So that was the most important part, was to be able and talk about it with the person that was involved, and the rest was just me looking into it with myself. And if you are in any way, shape, or form ever destabilized, let me know. There's Ask Maria, opinionated columnist episodes, for now only on the audio version, but I can definitely, through that, we'll do a paid content piece, because it would be actively you asking for support for that, even though it's food for thought. But it also gets to be given for our membership, and so people can use it in the future. And I'm sure that we'll have more of those who are within the Mystic community come on over, so it can stay online for other members. And this is where, because it's actively something that I value and importance, not because of the money, it's because there's people that are not within our 5D community as of yet. So it's about that. I have a different way that I'm bringing to information, and so it's for those who resonate with this and say, yep, that can help me actively. Your body and your mind will already have said yes, if you're somebody who's hearing me and like, okay. Because the other part is that there are people who make it into a big deal, the past lives, and they actively talk about it as if you're still attached. So there's just different ways that I've seen people talk about what comes up and what you download and what you are seeing, and it can be made a part of your life now in a way that allows you to embrace emotionally and mentally the experience, because that is, to me, the most special gift, again, is that I got to see something that is mine. You can't prove it. Got to share it with the people that will allow me, because they're into, or they allow it because they actively respect my channeling. Even though it's woo-woo, it doesn't matter. They still will treat it with respect. Sometimes there's people that I've had that don't treat it with respect, but that's okay. I understood and learned from that one, actually. This is a while back, but it's a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, made me think twice, and I was like, you know what, you're probably right about how the content is going to get used or could get used. So it was good. It was a good experience. Anyways, I digress. Like, share, and subscribe. It will help the channel. And again, if any of you who are tuning in, whenever this happens, membership content, if things have changed up by the time you come across it, just reach out to me through email. Of course, I am open to hearing what you have to say, and then we can go from there. But yeah, for me, it's really awesome. My clairs, that's the one thing that I would tell my teenage self when they say, what would you tell your kid self? I would tell my kid self, you're going to get clairs. Guess what? It's going to be fun. Oh, you're going to have other stuff too. That's not important. I'm not going to inform you of that, because that way you don't need to, because you're going to be fine, Maria. Just know it's going to be fun. It's fun to have clairs, and totally able to embody them with the people, because you're heard. It's awesome. Our herd's awesome. So we'll be back with more. Have a good one.